Okay, so let's start with a nice warm up to begin with. We're going to have our feet hip width apart. And the first thing I want you guys to do is to just lift your toes up off the mat, spread them nice and wide, and press the pads of the toes into the floor. We want to do that just so we get the arches to lift, so that we get the toes to move. And I want you to think of that triangle base of the foot. We want to have our weight balanced at the base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the center of the heel, okay? From there, we're going to bend and stretch the knees, and it's super, super relaxed. Just swing the arms, just to create a bit of energy, shake out any tension we might be holding on to after a long day. And then you're going to place your hands onto your hips. We're then going to rock the pelvis forward and back, so really, really exaggerated to begin with, so that you get that nice movement through your hips. And then you're going to finish with the pelvis in neutral, and you're going to stretch those legs for me. From there, I want you to imagine your 3 circles, your hips, your ribs, your shoulders, and your collarbone. And then I want you to grow an extra inch through the spine. From there, you can close your eyes and just take a couple nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we inhale, just take a second to feel that beautiful alignment we've set up. And as you exhale, relax and release through the shoulders, through the jaw. You're going to give me 2 more nice deep breaths in and out. Last one here. In and out. We're then going to open those eyes. And then when you're ready, you're just going to scan your head from right to left. There is no tension on the neck. It just floats from side to side. Once we've done a couple there, we're going to place the hands onto the shoulders as a little reminder just to pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then you're going to nod right ear to right shoulder and left ear to left shoulder, just so we create a bit of length. And of course, if that's not comfortable, you can always relax the hands down. It's that little reminder, yeah, just to pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then when you're ready, you're going to do a little semicircle forward. So we go ear to shoulder, chin to chest, over to the other side. One more in each direction, really relaxed. And then we're going to finish with our chin to our chest. We're going to relax the hands and let the head float back up. The shoulder's going to lift all the way up by the ears, then big exhale, drop them down the back. 3 more there, lift and drop. 2 and drop. 3 big shoulder rolls backwards. 3 and 2 and 1. Hands go onto the shoulders. 3 big elbow circles. 3 and 2 and 1. Letting go of the shoulders. 3 big arm circles, lifting your chest to the sky as you do it. 3. Good work, guys. Lift and open the breastbone. 2. Last 1. From there, we're going to finish with our hands all the way up to the ceiling, and you're going to touch the ceiling with the right hand, and then you're going to touch the ceiling with your left hand. And this is just going to give you that feeling of length, that feeling of stretch from fingertips all the way to the hip bones. 1 more on each side, and just really enjoy it so you can go a bit further with each repetition. And then we're going to interlace the fingers and take our hands behind our head. Now from here, relax the shoulders or press the hands, head into the hands. Now if it's not comfortable to have the hands here, you can place the hands into the center of the chest as well. Okay, so you've got 2 options, not always comfortable at there, here. From there, you're gently going to rotate your rib cage to the right. You're then going to come back through center and rotate your rib cage to the left. So I just want you to alternate from side to side, gently mobilizing through that back. So remembering that we're not pushing to end range, we're just comfortably moving the spine. And also be aware what often will happen is the head will want to come forward. So I want you to do your best to press your head into your hands to build that connection with the back body. Okay, we're then going to finish our last one to the center. Place the hands down by our side and just going to do a gentle slide your hand down your right thigh, come to center, slide your hand down your left thigh. So again, this isn't about going to end range. It's about controlling the movement, creating length in one side of the rib, and then getting a little bit of contraction, a little bit of work in the obliques in the other. Once you finish your last one off on your left, we're going to cross the hands over the chest and we're going to do our little spinal roll, okay? So you're going to gently take your spine over to the right. You're then just gently going to look down at the floor, just enough to soften the chest. circle over to the left. Then you're going to lift your breastbone and do a back bend over and around. You're going to give me 2 more in this direction. Remembering, it's just about mobilizing that upper back. Yeah, we need to keep the spine flexible, but we just control the range of motion. Make sure you reverse once you've finished, and the focus is always that up, right? As we look up, and it's like, can you try and get your breastbone towards the ceiling and softly round? Last ones here, ladies. Good work. Should feel really nice just to kind of move through that body. And then once you've finished, you're going to place your hands on your hips and you're going to give me 10 hip hinges. You can open the legs wider if you want, remembering that we fold from the hip joint. We keep the spine in our lovely long neutral position as we come into our hip hinge and we drive our hips forward. And you're going to give me 10 here, really focusing on that technique, yeah? It's all from the hip joint. But we don't want to forget about what happens in the upper half, right? The feeling is that we kind of pull the shoulder blades down the back. We keep that spine long, and the neck stays in line. So my neck's never coming out of alignment. And once you finish your last one here, you're going to go into 10 squats. So now you're going to bend the knees and come up. Now, ideally, the difference is hip hinge is the same. We keep our chest up as best we can when we get low in that squat. And you're going to give me about 8 more here, just so we get a bit of work into the legs, start to build up a little bit of heat through the body. Nice, guys. Good. Don't be scared to open those legs out and give yourself a lot of space, yeah? We want to get deep into that hip joint. And once you have finished your 10 reps there, you can give me a little thumbs up so I know that we're done, because I can't count. I'm always going to say like 10-ish, I think, is easier. Good. Okay, gang. So once you have finished your 10 squats, we're going to grab hold of our dumbbell. So guys, if you came in, you're going to need 1 dumbbell, just 1. We're not going super, super heavy. We're more using it to help us build connection in our center. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to continue moving from the hip joint. So we did these last week, right? If I put my hands in my hip crease and I lift my leg forward, I feel that that nice movement comes right from the front of my hip, yeah? I'm not lifting my hip to make the leg happen. So I want you to do a few of those, just bringing the leg forward. That's it, moving from the hip joint. Now, don't worry if the leg doesn't go as high. You don't need to have it straight either. Just gently marching forward, thinking of swinging the leg forward. Now, as you do that, once you've got that comfortable movement, can you take the weight into one hand or either both and lift it into the air for me? I'm just too tall for my own good. That's it. So, exactly the same thing here. I want you to see if you can maintain your nice neutral spine as you hold that weight overhead. Now, if it's not super comfortable to have the weight all the way up, you can rest it on your shoulder. That might be more comfortable, okay? If that weight is in the air, what's going to happen is it's going to want to throw off our balance. So I want you to really focus on that nice alignment that we just did as you did your marching. I want you to think of drawing your abdominals in and up and keeping that nice, gentle movement as we go. Weight is high. Good. Now, if you can you bring that arm down and change and carry on? We're going to do 10 more here. 10 and 9 and 8 and 7. Remember, you can rest the weight on the shoulder or hold it close if it's not comfortable. 4 more and 3 and 2. Last one. Really nice. From there, you're going to take hold of the weight in both hands and we're going to march on the spot and we're going to hold the weight overhead. So we're going to do this super, super quick. We want to get a bit of heat into that body, and having that weight overhead, you've got to focus on what's happening with your core. What we don't want to have is that back arch. We want to have pubic bone pulled up towards the belly button, ribs close, abdominals zipped up as we control. We're going to do 10 more here, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Relax and come down, just give the arms a little rest a second. You're then going to bring the weight to chest height. We're going to take a little bend in our knees and we're going to come into a mini hip hinge. So you notice that the hips go back. The waistline is long, the spine is long. You're going to step right foot out and press the weight forward. Close the legs, bring the weight to the chest. Step forward and together. Forward and together. Forward and together, alternating sides. Now, obviously, the faster that you do this, yeah, the higher that heart rate is going to go. But I don't want speed if it means we're going to compromise our form, yeah? So quite often what will happen when the weights come forward is we get a lot of this. So I want you to think, tuck those shoulder blades into the back pockets of your leggings and think of pressing from your chest and not from your shoulders. 4 more here for me, guys. We go 4 and 3 and 2. Getting low in that squat. Last 1. Step those feet together. Stand up nice and tall. So from there, we're going to move into a curtsy squat. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide, and you're going to step your right foot behind your left. You're then going to press the weight forward, bend both your knees into your curtsy squat. Stand up nice and tall, bring the weights back to the chest. And then we go. So you just step one leg behind, bend both the knees, keeping everything facing to the front of the room, bring the weight to the chest, step back out. Okay, now obviously there's an element of balance here, right? Because we're in a cross-leg position. So I want you to take your time. If you find you can go faster than this, you can pick up that pace. Don't let me hold you back, but I'm going to do it at a nice even pace. My hips, my shoulders face the front, shoulders are tucked into the back pockets of my leggings, and I'm pressing through. And we're going to do 4 more here. I'm going to come have a little look and see how we're getting on. Yeah, stepping out. Good, guys. Breathing as you go. Last 3. Can you get a bit lower in your curtsy squats? 2. Yes, guys. Last 1. Very nice. And up. Good. Okay. Are we all warm? Yeah, ish. So let's add in a single leg hip hinge. So for this one, you're going to have your right foot forward and you're going to have your weight in your left hand. So we've got opposite arm, opposite leg. My left foot is back and I'm on the ball of my foot to begin with. I'm not in a lunge stance, it's just back. And that's really just to help me balance. From there, I'm going to hip hinge. So I'm going to keep my shoulder blade squeezed as if I'm kind of squeezing a newspaper underneath my arm. Hinge forward and stand up. Hinge forward and stand up. So I've got this nice movement from my hip joint, okay? Now, obviously there's a little balance aspect here, okay? So what we don't want to do is transfer our weight into our knee and then back. No, no, no. The feet are planted and the hips move. So do you see? The only thing that's happening is hips forward, hips back. If that's easy, I want you to see if you can take your back leg off as you lower and lift. That's going to be much more challenging. You want to think of squeezing those armpits, literally like you had a newspaper or magazine underneath your arm and you would try to keep it there in place as you do this movement. Everyone's going to give me 3 more here. 3. Good, guys. 2. Good. Take your time. Nice save, Kay. I saw that one. Good. Last one. You got it. And up. Okay, nice, guys. Shall we do the other side? So you're going to have your weight in your right hand and you're going to have your left foot forward. So focus just on getting that position, yeah? So form is important. We don't have to be perfect, but we need to understand where that movement comes from. I'm not shifting my weight forward and back. My weight is always staying even across both of my feet. The only action that's happening is my hips go back and my hips go forward. That allows us to keep the spine in neutral, allows us to keep that nice length, and also loads that hip, yeah? When you're ready, and if it feels comfortable for you, you don't have to, you can see if you can do a single leg hinge. I'm a bit wobblier on this leg, and down. Single leg hinge, and down. And it's like a seesaw, yeah? The body and the leg move together to help counterbalance. Good, guys. Don't rush it. We're not in a rush. We got at least 12 more minutes of class yet. So, you know, don't rush a good thing. Everyone's going to give me 2 more here. Really nice. Good, guys. Last one. And then back. Nice. Okay. Breathe. Everyone's all right? Okay. So let's make our way down onto the mat. And we're going to start on all fours. Okay. With your weight. So bring your weight with you. So the first little exercise we're going to do is we're going to pass the dumbbell. So we're going to have wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And if it's painful for the shoulder, you can always just adjust the hands forward slightly, okay? Now I want you to take your dumbbell and place it just behind your left wrist. Easy peasy. You're then going to take your right hand, you're going to grab the dumbbell, and you're going to put it behind your right wrist. Pop that hand down, and then you're going to change. So I'm going to take my left hand, grab the dumbbell, pass it back, and change. So I'm just passing my dumbbell from one side to the other, but you'll notice I'm grabbing it from underneath and switching. So what you're going to feel, and because we're in quite a secure place, if you want, you can close your eyes, if you feel comfortable, and see what's happening in your body. Can you maybe feel that subtle shift, right, of your shoulder muscles? Can you maybe feel a little bit through your obliques, through your side abdominals as you switch? If this feels easy peasy lemon squeezy, you can either shift your knees back, so you're in your kneeling plank. Remember, we've been working on this position, right? The aim is that we keep the trunk really still and solid. We draw the abdominals in and up, and we squeeze our glutes. Or if that's easy peasy lemon squeezy, you can come into a full plank, and everyone's going to give me 8 passes. So that's 4 on each side, whichever variation feels good for you. Good, guys. Remember, when we're in our planks, I want you to pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. So it's this feeling of zipping up in the front. And then we wrap those abdominals around. Once you've done 8 passes, you can lower the knees and sit back into a little child's pose. And take a little breather. Good. Really nice, guys. Not bad. Not bad. Now, I'm all for, if you want to do the plank, right, it's always better to have a slight triangle than to have an arch. But if your bum has to be in the air for the whole thing, and you feel you can't maintain it there, I would rather you come down to kneeling plank, and I want you to try and find that perfect position. Do you remember we've practiced it the last couple of weeks? So everyone's gonna get into this kneeling plank for me, because we're gonna do a little push up as well, okay? So I want you to sit back into a little child's pose. So we hinge back, keeping the spine long, and then I want you to come into your perfect plank. That means I've zipped up pubic bone to belly button. I'm pushing the mat away, and I want you to hinge back and then hit that position. And I want you to do 3 more of those for me. Finding that sensation, yeah? That feeling of the abdominals supporting that waistline, yeah? Yes, guys, beautiful. And this is super important, right? We have to understand how it feels here before we progress to taking those knees off, so that we've got that full support around our center. You're going to finish your last one in your kneeling plank. Now, it's also important to have the sensation of pushing your shoulder blades away. From there, if you can, you're slowly going to lower yourself all the way down to the mat. If you need to just lie yourself down, then you can as well. It's not always convenient. So from there, we're going to have our forearms on the mat, legs comfortable distance apart. Press the pubic bone down, and we're just going to float our chest off the mat and then back down. Super, super simple. Lift and lower. And it really wants to be that sense that we breathe in and lift, exhale, release and lower. Yeah? Just to get our back working in that beautiful extension position. Good. Everyone's going to give me 2 more here. Super, super gentle. Good. Last one. Nice, ladies. So we're going to add on. So from there, we're going to lift our chest up. We're going to float our arms up. From there, can you reach your hands back and lift your chest up? Yes. Can you bend your elbows? And then put everything back down on the mat. And we go again. So we go chest lifts, arms lift. From there, stretch the arms back, lift the legs up. So we're in our darts. If you can get upper arms to roll together, bend the elbows, come back down. And we're going to do 3 more there. So we lift the chest up, the arms come off. Stretch the arms back, lift the legs. Roll the upper arms together, find that connection. Good, bend the elbows. And down. Nice, ladies, last 2 reps. Fantastic. Chest lifts up. Stretch those arms back. Good. Good. Hold it there in that dart. Bend the elbows. And release. Beautiful. You've got your last set here. Float that chest up nice and gentle. Arms come off. Stretch the arms back, legs lift up. Roll the upper arms together. Hold it here a second. Bend those elbows. And then release the chest back down. From there, guys, sit back into a little child's pose for me. Child's pose isn't comfortable on the knee. You can lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Very nicely done. Okay, guys. So we're going to finish with a little bit of balance. The first thing we're going to do, has everybody got access to a wall or something they can lean on? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So a client of mine, she sent me an article about how wonderful wall squats are for bone density. She asked me, she said, oh, is this any good? You know, like she'll ask me. And I said, oh yeah, it's so fantastic for building up endurance in your legs and particularly in your quads, which is excellent for helping you with your balance. So we're going to do a balance routine, but first of all, we're going to do a 30-second wall squat. How does that sound? Woohoo! Okay, so you're going to need to have access to your wall, and I promise you, I'm going to have my stopwatch, so I won't make it up. It will be 30 seconds, yeah? So, first thing we want to do is you want to get your back up against the wall and you want to have your feet slightly further forward. Now that's important. Points of contact on the wall, okay? You want to have your tailbone touching the wall. Your lower back will be soft. Your shoulder blades will be touching the mat and your hands, but more than likely your head won't be, and that's okay. You can push your head into the wall if you like, but it's not necessary. From there, you're going to bend your knees. You may need to adjust the feet. And you want to try and get your knees in a perfect right angle. So for me, you can see I've got to shift my feet forward slightly. I want you to push your back into the wall. And we're going to hold it. I'm even going to do it with you. 30 seconds. As you do this, press that back into the wall. We've just woken up that back body with our extension. Breathe. As you exhale, those abdominals narrow and draw towards the spine. So we have that support. We keep the contact, points of contact. If you want, you can push the head into the wall. Some people find that easier. Depends on the neck. You've got 8 seconds left. That's it. Last 4, 3, 2, 1 to come up. Push yourself up. Stretch your legs. Walk your feet back and give your legs a little shake. That wasn't so bad, huh? Jane's like, good. Good. So we're going to have a little play with this each week and see how far we can get. So let's finish with a quick balance routine. I don't know if you guys remember it. I'm going to give you the add-on, okay? So we're going to take a single leg balance on our right leg. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's it. Now you're going to step forward with the lifted leg and you're going to do a little hip hinge. So I'm just going to take my weight into my front leg. Yes. You're then going to step back onto that lifted leg and lift that left knee really high. Good. You're then going to circle that left knee over to the side. Pop that foot onto the floor. And you can take a single leg balance on this leg. Now, if you can you gently lean towards that leg? So we've got a bit of, yes, take your time. From there, you're going to step onto that lifted foot, find a single leg balance. Now from here, you're going to give me a little rond de jambe. So you're going to circle the lower leg around. Good, now we're going to do a big rond de jambe. This is the add-on. You're going to stretch your leg forward. You're going to circle your leg all the way to the back of the room. You're going to lift out of your hips as it comes forward. And then you're going to relax your leg back down. Ah, good. It's a lot, yeah? So don't worry. Let's go again on the other side. So you're going to find a single leg balance on your left leg, okay? You can do whatever you like with your hands that's going to help you. You're then going to step forward onto that lifted leg and you lean your weight. Single leg hip hinge, which we already did today. You're then going to step onto that lifted leg and lift that knee nice and high. Good, now super relaxed. Take the leg over to the side. Then step onto that leg, find a single leg balance. Now if you can, think of leaning over that leg just as far as you can. Slowly come back up, step onto that lifted leg, single leg balance. Now we've got little rond de jambe, so just the lower leg is going to do one circle. And then you're going to straighten that leg out in front of you. You're going to circle that leg all the way around. As the leg goes to the back, you're going to try and grow tall out of the crown of the head. You're going to sweep the leg all the way to the front. Hold it for a second. And then relax and come back down. Good, guys. How did it feel? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so next week we've got to add on. There's just no choice. Get practicing this week, ladies. So let's finish the way we usually do, with our heels together and our toes apart and our 50-pound note between our butt cheeks. Find a focus on the wall in front of you. Rise up onto your tiptoes. Hold your balance. Then your heels sink down into the floor, but you keep lifting through your center. And we go again. We rise up and hold. Heels press down, but we're so tall, so light in the upper back. And our final one, we rise up and we stay up. This time we reach our hands up towards the ceiling. And if you feel confident with your balance, can you close your eyes? Can you hold it for a second? Can you keep your balance as you open your eyes? Press down your hands, shoulders and heels. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You guys are all done. Bye.